Shalom. This is Popped out of GMS Chicago. Quick little one sit down. Was looking at something, and it just jumped out. Isaiah 4:1 jumped straight out as soon as I was looking at this article. So put this together for you and let y'all see this real quick. Oh, before I get started again, like always, I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, to the apostles and elders of GMS. I want to send double honors because they do real well. And to the brothers around the world pushing the truth uncut, unfiltered, I want to send salutations to the hopeful elect. See how these scriptures are going to, so you can get a chance to see how these scriptures are going to play out and in what programs and what things they could possibly be coming down the pipe in. Okay, with that, here we go.
Unions, usually white-owned and white-led, were somehow going to protect black women. The truth is that the unions are set up to ensure that white people have jobs and good benefits, not black people. So you can expect to see the unions roll over when Donald Trump tells them it's time for you to accept the fact that you're going to lose a lot of your members. As far as they're concerned, as long as they can hold on to their white members, that's fine by them. Now, I'd like to turn your attention to something else because I'm not sure how genuine this image is. I found it while perusing Facebook, so its authenticity is anyone's guess. But as a conversation piece, I do think that it bears some commentary because it sums up the dusty whorehouse culture that has dominated our community for the last half-century. The women who had depended on the social safety net are watching as Donald Trump and his alt-right flunkies begin to shred it. And to a lot of them, black men are going to be their plan B. The handouts that have come for so long, so easily for nothing, that a lot of black women have utterly depended on, they think that they're entitled to it. When black women turned their backs on the movement, they actually committed group suicide. And the only reason that they haven't dropped dead already is because white supremacy gave them an artificial life support system in the form of government programs and government jobs. And then the white media patted black women on the back and called this success. Black women were able to stick out their chest and boast that because black men weren't getting these freebies, that black women were the backbone of the community, and it was because black women were so hard-working and so industrious, and that black women were just smarter, and that, well, all the rest of that crap. Well, now we see that the white man who has the power to give you everything also has the power to take everything away. And so he is. And rather than becoming more belligerent and saying strong and independent, now we're watching black women begin to cop a plea. You have no idea how ridiculous this looks. Black women, you have served your purpose for white supremacy. You willingly and knowingly undermined the only force who could have toppled white supremacy 50 years ago. You became a tool against black men, and by creating a matriarchy, you've left us totally exposed to our enemy. Perhaps for a time you felt like you were on the team. You certainly saw the world through the eyes of white people. So as Trump begins the process of taking your goodies away, don't think there's going to be some massive rush to unity. 50 years of non-stop black men ain't spit won't be forgiven or forgotten simply because white daddy is taking away the goodies. We've always told you that you were allowing yourselves to be set up. You didn't listen. Now your white pals are proving it to you. Do you think it's some sort of accident that Trump's very first move was an act meant to target black women? How many times do I have to tell you white people have never had a tool that they have not eventually broken in the end? This is their standard operating procedure. From Southeast Asia to the Middle East to Africa to the United States. First, they find some flunkies who they can use to help them, flunkies who will act as a buffer group, and intermediate strata to enforce their rule, and then, when white people have achieved their goal of total dominance, they eliminate that tool. And black women, whether you want to hear it or not, you have been their tools. Well, now the job of defeating black male opposition is complete. The only true threat white supremacy faced has been put down. At this point, it's now time to break the tool and call it a day.
Okay. You got to love that. You gotta
learn
love
a lot about image. And in modeling, I real quick before we start, what am I looking at? Am I looking at you? Am I looking at the camera?
Look wherever you want to look. It's still gonna capture your beauty and everything. You know, just talk. You know.
Okay.
Yeah,
So being a model, I learned a lot about image,
Yeah.
and what you present matters. No matter what's going on behind the scenes, there could be 110 different people behind the scene doing so many different things, and the image that comes out, that's what gets captured, and that's what you put out.
Yeah.
So what's our business is our business, of course. But whenever I get to that point where I'm in a relationship with somebody, I believe in myself. I know I am royalty. I'm a princess. I am the Persian princess. And when a king approaches me to make me his queen, I do believe that we have an understanding. If you approach me to make you your queen, you love me to the point where I am it. I am all of it there is for you. I love myself so much, and I think everyone should love themselves a lot. So if you are trying to approach me, that means you love me as much as I love me, even a little bit more, because that's why I'm letting you inside of my universe. Okay. So if you're able to catch that attention, if you're able to lock me down, basically, if you can make me your queen, there's nothing that me and you cannot do together. As a man, I believe you are allowed to you can do whatever you want, you know? So, for example, with sex and relationships, if me and my man, I believe in a man that it does his own thing. He does his own business, his own hustle. I'm not looking for an ankle monitor. I'm looking for a partner. Yeah. I'm looking for someone to do his own thing, to give me my space, for me to do my own thing, because I'm an artistic person. I have to be able to express myself. I don't ever want to feel like I am getting hovered over. Yeah. And I give you your space. You should have friends. You should have male friends, female friends, people you've been with. You shouldn't have to cut those things off because you're in a new relationship. But that doesn't mean that if we're not together, you don't stop eating if we're not together, right? I mean, if you're across the world, like in Hong Kong doing business, are you going to stop sleeping and eating because I'm not there eating with you? Okay. So what is it about sex that makes it so special? Only because it's a little bit more intimate? Sex doesn't have to be as spiritual as you make it to be. You know, sex can just be sex. And if people learn that sex can just be sex, they can get all those emotions out of it. Yes, me and him are going to be on that level. Me and him are going to touch each other's souls and interchange universes with each other. And he's going to tap into me like I'm going to tap into him. But he can fuck a plastic doll for all I care, as long as we're keeping those open lines of communication. My king and I can enjoy, you know, our concubines together. He can have his room of concubines. She can come do the dishes. She can come cook. She can come fuck my man. And she can go back to where she came from. As long as we're all having these open lines of communications, there is nothing that we cannot do in this world. And that's what makes a power couple, if you ask me.